Hi everyone, I'm Brian.
And I'm Helen.
And we're from Think1265.
We are the weirdos, mister.
So anyway, what's been happening? All good? Everything tickety-boo? No sudden dramas?
Look, we were just as surprised as you were yesterday afternoon by the announcement that action short of strike action was being paused as a result of the movement by the management side in pay negotiations.
But it is important to put it in perspective. This isn't a capitulation, it's just a pause. So we're here to talk about the real reason why ASOS is so important to everyone, and to share why we think this might present a golden opportunity for us all to push our workload campaign further along.
I'm listening.
Our survey in October showed just how brutal the workload was. We've read every one of the 1,000 or more comments on our workload survey, and we know that for a great many of our colleagues out there, the news on Friday must have felt like a hammer blow.
We do get it. We really, really do. And whatever union you're in, I'm sure your negotiating team gets it as well.
A few weeks ago, we posted about how action short of strike is just a sticking plaster over a wound. And while everyone is relieved that it would be kicking off again, we said that all it would take is a reasonable offer over pay to shut action short of strike down.
Life, finds a way.
And here we are. Now, there's maybe 4 people who are watching this video who were in the negotiating room last week who know exactly what happened. And perhaps another 10 or 20 who were involved in the first-hand decision to pause ASOS. As branch, association and regional union meetings kick off this month, these folk will explain to each of you what the reasoning was for pausing the action, and you can make your judgments then.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
Let's not get carried away in our upset. Let's not do or say anything rash.
Words, particularly words typed online, as we tell all the pupils that we teach, can come back to bite people hard. If you want to vent on the internet, please count to 10, and then probably best not to.
Seriously though, the only people who are benefiting from us getting into a circular firing squad are those who don't want to pay us properly, or those who don't want to respect our right to a work-life balance. However, ASOS is still there, hanging like a sword of Damocles, but now the onus is on the management side to put something decent on the table, and they have 20 working days to do so. Otherwise, that sword will fall. PR-wise, look, if action happens in February, it'll be because the management have failed to make good on their promises, and not because greedy teachers want to go on strike so wee Jimmy won't be able to learn his letters. There's also been a lot made of the Minister's statement about peaceful, strike-free industrial environment in schools going forward. Now, every manager in every industrial dispute wants that undertaking from unions, and none of them get it. But a peaceful industrial environment in education is easily achievable if Mr Given finally addresses the biggest issue facing teachers in Northern Ireland, the issue of workload. And our negotiators have clearly said that this has to be part of any deal that's put on the table. So, this makes the next 4 weeks a pivotal time in the Think1265 campaign for a fair and reasonable workload in schools. The fact is, you don't need ASOS to have a decent work-life balance. Your right to a reasonable and fair workload is already enshrined in August's workload agreement. And if your school's not following the instructions on that agreement, then an employment tribunal would find them guilty of breaching your employment rights. Currently low, the onus to challenge a school leadership over anything to do with workload lies with the very teachers who are being exploited. Individually or collectively, with or without union help, the teacher must raise a grievance against their boss using the school's grievance procedure. So far this year, no one has pushed a grievance forward in their school. So here's what we propose to do, and we need your help to do it. Firstly, we'll make a series of 90-second information videos to go out on our Facebook page over the next fortnight.
Microphone slowly swings into position, care being taken that it casts no shadows.
They'll tell you what your rights are in school and what to do if you're not getting these rights. Secondly, we want to ask you to write to Mr Given to ask him to introduce a mechanism to ensure TNC 24/2 is implemented in your school.
Time's up.
Now, we don't want this to be an exercise in clicktivism by email. We want you to write old school and post your letter directly to Mr Given's office. We're working on a draft you can use, but it's even better if you tweak it for your own circumstances. However, let's flood the space with hundreds of voices demanding proper action over teachers' workload. You're angry about what's happening. We understand that. But put that energy to positive use. Finally, we're working on a proposed mechanism that Mr. Given might consider implementing to ensure TNC 24/2 is adhered to in schools.
Long story short, we want to shift the onus on ensuring your workload rights are being upheld from you as teachers by the Department of Education, as the body in overall charge of what happens in our schools. So that's the plan. We know you're disappointed by the news on Friday, but it's nothing more than a 4-week speed bump on this journey.
We haven't lost anything. We still have the absolute legal right to take action if Mr. Given fails to produce a reasonable offer. And we have a plan to use this month to push forward for our ultimate goal, a career with a fair and reasonable workload, achievable during normal working hours, and pay commensurate with our skills, experience, and the value we bring to the wider society. So what do you say?
Why don't you jump on the team and come on in for the big win?
Let's stop waiting for things to happen to us and start fighting for things to happen for us. And you can have a real impact straight away, all for the cost of a stamp.
$1 million.
Have a great rest of the weekend.